We're at the SMSF Association's annual conference, and today I'm joined by Andrea Slattery to give us some broad views on the industry. Andrea, lovely to see you again.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Now, Andrea, a lot of our trustees already know your association as SPA, but you've recently rebranded. Can you give us a reason about what is actually in the new name?
Well, in effect, it's about simplicity and intuitively being able to find an association that can actually service the community of the SMSFs. When we started our organisation 12 years ago, it was about building professionalism, integrity and sustainability in the SMSF sector. And when we went out to do some research, the general community that weren't members or trustees within the communities said, it sounds like an association with the wrong name. They thought of hot tubs. And they said, why don't you just drop the name and talk about the SMSF Association, which is what you are. So we've thought about that, and intuitively we felt that it was right. We're also at the right time in the stage of our life cycle. We have created an SMSF profession. There is a genuine well-being about the SMSF sector, and there have been 3 major reviews in Australia, government reviews, that have confirmed the SMSF sector is well managed, it's well functioning, it's had a clean bill of health, and that they have confirmed there's a new profession. So it was time.
Wonderful. So now we've got SMSF Association.
SMSF Association.
Now, Andrea, what I found interesting in your presentation was how the conference seems to be taking the focus on the trustee pretty much on the centre. So as the newly rebranded association, how does the trustee come under the spotlight? Will you be doing more to focus on the trustee?
Yes. We started the association looking at the integrity of the industry, which meant that we have a number of communities that we actually had under our care. So you had, as members, you had the professionals, you had the educators and the trustees, and other communities such as the regulators and media and all sorts of other areas, the administrators, that actually impact on the SMSF sector. This year, for the first time though, we decided rather than having a conference which focused on an individual issue within a profession, say like a borrowing rule or about a tax rule or about something that an accountant would do, we thought it was high time that we actually had something that would allow a person providing services to the trustee to be able to understand where they were in their life cycle. And it's really imperative that it didn't matter what level of knowledge, but that they could actually provide advice for an individual in their life cycle, and that they could actually provide services along the journey, and that would change along the journey. And this conference is to help everybody have a new framework of advice for that.
Now, Andrew, the other interesting thing that we got from the conference is that you've started sparring with your husband and into boxing. Now, of course, the government's made some noises, or actually even the media's made some noises about targeting super concessions. So as an association, do you think you might need to put some sparring gloves on and in order to look at some of these policies and whether they are viable with the government?
Yes, I'd have to say that I will be putting the gloves on with this. 2 things, and I need all of you to actually help us with it. The tax concessions are provided for people to put money away now for their future. There has to be an incentive for you to save for a period of 1 year to 50 years. It has to be measured. At the moment, the behavioural aspects of how people would spend their money if they weren't getting a tax concession is not well measured. We know that it is better to have a super savings system, and our research is showing you're more likely to save if you have a tax concession and you contribute to super than you are if you just were left without any compulsion. The third part is the government make the laws, the tax laws and the super laws. When they fiddle around with it, they affect the confidence of consumers, they affect the confidence of your clients, and they affect the confidence of trustees. you have every right to actually bring your issues to the table and support super in keeping its tax concessions as the primary savings vehicle and having surety and certainty going forward, and so the government committing to this issue that they will not fiddle with it along the journey.
Andrea, thank you so much for your time today.
Pleasure. It's lovely being here, Christine.
And apologies to all our viewers with the noise in the background, but we are at a live conference and Andrea and I have had to grab some time in pretty much the basement of the event. So Andrea, thanks for your understanding.
A pleasure. It's great. Enjoy your day.
We will. Thank you all.